In this video, we are going to discover how we can become a force to fix societal problems. It is going to involve us forming a community with a shared vision. We will build structures and systems for us to collaborate. We will be building our own digital society, our very own nation. A nation free from the inefficiencies and corruption of the current. We will take the symbol of infinity to represent the movement. Stick around to see how this game is going to be played and what role you will have. Have this video light a fire of inspiration within you. Share your perspective and ideas in the comment section. Join our Discord channel to collaborate with others. It's pretty obvious to anyone with a brain that society is unfair. It is rigged and structured like a pyramid scheme, where the individuals on top not only hold all the power but extract excessive value from the ones below. The individuals at the bottom of the pyramid scheme is us, the new generation, with our time and energy being exploited by each successive generation above. It's like we came to a game of Monopoly late, and all the real estate and utilities are owned. We start the game off in debt from a corporation that disguises itself as an educational institution. Every time we roll the dice, every move made, we are extorted some more. Rent, tax, fines, insurance, healthcare, licenses, certificates, and many more. It's time we stop playing this rigged game. We need to flip over the board and start a new game from scratch. Monopoly was the game of the older generation, a game of control, greed, and hoarding. But us youngsters prefer a new game in town, that is Catan, a game of trade and bartering, where you can work together to take down the largest threat. The opposite of Monopoly. In Monopoly, whomever is in the lead can't be touched, they snowball. A rich get richer and poor get poorer scenario truly mirrors the real world. This is the result of the normalization to accumulate assets and extract as much as you can from other people. If you look at society as a game, a bunch of systems, structures, reward mechanics, and exploits, you can see the way that society is modeled resembles the game of Monopoly. If we were to remodel society into something that is not clearly broken, taking inspiration from other games like Catan is a good start. A game that emphasizes collaboration over competition. A game that isn't a winner takes all scenario. A game where the youngest players are not disproportionately disadvantaged.
Hey, there is something stirring up on the internet. A bunch of kids are forming a community. They are rallying around the symbol of infinity with a vision of a better world. Could this be the seeds of a global revolution?
Currently, the world is stuck under mass hypnosis, trapped in the deceptions of capitalism and institutions, under a trance of societal pressures, hypnotized by money, hypnotized into hoarding assets and resources, hypnotized into chasing social status, education levels, or job titles. This is a vicious cycle that leads us to where we are now. Nations involved in military conflict, the world polluted with no concerns for the environment of the future, cost of living and housing barely affordable. Not to mention inflation across all aspects of life, beyond even money. Inflation in education, employment, and even dating is a real issue for the new generations. You're expected to have some form of certificate for even the most mundane jobs. Acquiring them can put individuals tens of thousands into debt. Employers expect applicants to have the highest of credentials, such as masters. In addition, they want you to have 4 years of experience on top, all for a minimal wage position. Ridiculous to be expected to have 8+ years of your time studying and on-job experience, all for a junior position that pays minimal wage. In dating, people now have unrealistic expectations for who they would date, probably due to social media and dating apps. If you're a guy, you need to be 6 foot tall, handsome, and be a millionaire. That's just to get a match. In the past, you were considered cool if you happened to own any old car as a teenager. These days, you need to have a Lamborghini and millions of followers on social media. No surprise there is a decline in both marriage and birth rates. You can see that there is inflation in all aspects of life. No wonder life is miserable for the younger generations. Housing has gone up 10 times in price the last 30 years, yet income has only doubled. The older generations are completely ignorant to the fact that they turned this world into a game of Monopoly. And they wonder why there is an increase in mental health problems with the youth. If they were growing up in our shoes, they too would have depression, as they would not be able to buy dozens of properties, boats, and caravans, living in retirement off of the tenant's weekly paycheck. In China, the youth have started a movement called Let It Rot. This is where they just give up on life and don't bother to do anything, living unemployed. What we refer to as a NEET, not in employment, education or training, a group that is growing globally in the youth population. You can't blame individuals for this mindset. What is the point of participating in a rigged game where there are no rewards? In today's society, the reward-to-effort dynamics are broken. This is a vicious cycle that leads us to where we are today. Instead of lying down and giving up, such as the Let It Rot movement, I declare that we do something different. We fight back. We build a community, a new movement that acts to fix problems, not give up. A movement that will shake up the system, not cry about it. The systems and structure of society are modeled on ideas hundreds to even thousands of years old. They are ancient relics that do not consider globalization and technologies that we possess today, specifically the internet. Additionally, many of the systems, whether by design or corruption over time, inherently benefit the ones who control them disproportionately, funneling wealth and power out of the populace to a minority. The American government is modeled on aspects of a millennia-old Roman Republic, and the schooling system has been standardized by government and corporations to instill discipline into the population and to make us factory workers, with grades being an indicator of how good of a worker you are. The most practical way to fix these systemic problems is to start on a clean slate. If something is rotten to the core, it is best to throw it out and grow something fresh. Just like constructing a new building is easiest done on a new plot of land. For us to build a community into a society, we need to fundamentally change our mentality. We cannot inherit and carry over the values and principles that define our current society. We need to evolve. We need to share, not hoard. We need to cooperate, not compete. We need to act on what is best for society and the future, not what benefits each individual. I believe that this community should have no official or elected leaders. There's too many issues with having a position of power. Having elections for roles just creates new problems. Think about all the resources, time, and energy wasted during presidential elections. Most often, you are not happy with either of the candidates. Our community will be led by visionaries, ideas, and projects. People who have good ideas will organically gather people who resonate with them. Leadership will be dynamic and organic, with no single person in control. I also believe business and companies should be structured in a similar fashion. With no shareholders or owners, instead, excess profits are regularly distributed back to workers and customers. This may sound like a crazy idea, but think of this as reinvesting into the business. Customers and workers will support the business more. The business will be more appealing for job seekers, and customers will grow through word of mouth. This can be seen as a similar model to Mr. Beast, where he would invest all his money into his next video.
Hey, there's a community of youth who say they are going to change the world. They say they are more than just a movement, stronger than any nation, and they know how to fix society. I'm really curious to see where this will go.
The utilization of resources is severely inefficient. We are extremely wasteful and inconsiderate with how much we use. Some of these issues are by design from corporations, like fast fashion in the clothing industry, or planned obsolescence, where a product is intended to fail after a period of time. Common in the automotive and electronics industry, but there is a lot that we can do as a community about this. The obvious one is to not spend your money on corporations with such practices. Boycott them. Let's look at a standard suburban neighborhood in America. Look at the close proximity of all these houses. Look how there's fences marking everyone's territory. I own this, you own that. Imagine the amount of material, time, and energy that goes into building not only these fences, but all the fences in the world. This concept is mimicked on the larger scale of countries, with the resources wasted on border patrols and customs. If there weren't any fences in this neighborhood, imagine all the neighbors acting as a joint community, sharing their backyard and resources with one another. You would only need to have one pool. Imagine the initial resources saved by not having to dig up all the other pools, but the ongoing saving in time and cost, as now they only need to maintain one pool as a group. This community will be able to share tools and equipment. Imagine only having one high-quality lawnmower and vacuum cleaner, as opposed to having a dozen of the same items. You can see already how wasteful and inefficient our society is. The pollution and amount of waste that we produce is a consequence of this. The benefits of neighborhoods coming together and communal sharing is endless. Imagine how many working-class men buy themselves a gaming console, yet rarely use it. In a community neighborhood, children would be free to use the console. If there was a person who owned a boat, he would allow his community to use it as their own. You can see this shared pool of resources maximizes the value something has. It is the most efficient way a society could operate. Yet it is a rarity to see, as most people are competitive, desiring to own and hoard everything, alien to the concept of sharing. Imagine if not only the entire populace had this sharing mentality, but what if nations were the same, where the concept of borders was no longer enforced, and where one country starts and another ends became a blurry line? If you look at the world as a game, and you wanted to min-max the game, that is, get the maximum efficiency. A lot of things in society is an absolute waste of time and energy. We touched on a few of them, but if you take a step back and think about human productivity, you would label that humans are productive to the future and society if they are creating something. That creation can be infrastructure, houses, food, art, music, etc. Yet there are so many things that exist in our society that have people standing around doing nothing, like we just discussed about borders. People who do border patrol and customs are not only doing nothing productive, but they also waste the time of others. The same can be said about many legal, governmental, and administrative jobs. The world would truly be a better place without countries and borders.
This infinity community is really growing. I have heard a few of them have even moved in next to each other, tearing down their fences. They share a super backyard with greenhouses, a pool, and a playground for the children. Beyond that, they share their belongings as well as tools, sewing machines, gaming consoles, and bikes. I really see the benefits of this. I might try find some people to do this with too.
As unpleasant as it is being at the bottom, being crushed by society, being in that position provides you with the most potential. You have the opportunity to adapt to the environment. Evolution, baby. The people who are challenged the most are the ones who can overcome anything. They experience problems firsthand, allowing them to be the source of solutions. You are in a position to evolve into something great. If life is a game, us younger generations are losing. This should come as no surprise, as Monopoly is the game of the old generation. But for us new age children, we prefer to play Catan, a game about trade and bartering. We need to break this cycle. We need to not play their game. We need to start our own game up from scratch. A game where we are not at the bottom of a pyramid scheme. A game where us younger generations are the winners. Corporations, the greedy and corrupt, will be the losers up against us. The game we are going to play is one of building our own society from the ground up, leveraging the greatest weapon created, the internet. This mass globally distributed communication machine. It has the capabilities to connect everyone. The internet is powerful enough to destroy the concept of nations. If everyone collectively agreed that Earth would be better without borders and nation-states, that would truly be a free world, free trade, and free movement of people. This free world would be the most efficient form of Earth, as individuals can relocate effortlessly to where they are most needed. Imagine no border patrols, customs, visas, or passports. Imagine if the country you live in is getting too expensive and overpopulated, just like Australia, the UK, and Canada. Instead of being stuck, moving to anywhere in the world would be as easy as catching public transport. Trades and engineers would be able to move to places on the planet where they are needed most, such as underdeveloped regions in Africa. You could effortlessly catch up or live with friends who live in other countries. Borders and tariffs act as firewalls for the movement of resources. Without them, trade and manufacturing will reach optimal efficiency. A world like this would be similar to the suburban utopia. Maybe cities will be independent, just like the Italian free city-states of the Renaissance period. Building a new community and society from the ground up. Turning a new community into a society from scratch offers a unique opportunity to innovate and solve problems without the constraints of outdated systems. It gives anyone the opportunity to take on any role or responsibility, not being restricted by age, job position, experience, education, or age. Bypassing archaic institutions and their inherent inefficiencies, we can craft a system that truly flourishes. Anyone, including children, can have a say and impact in forming this new society. Gamers and game developers, we need your help. The process of designing a new society can be likened to creating an intricate game. Game developers and avid gamers possess a deep understanding of what makes systems engaging and functional. They excel at balancing mechanics, implementing reward systems, and preventing exploitation, skills that are crucial in building a successful community and nation. Take this example, where in the game City Skylines, AI was able to solve a simulated housing crisis by getting rid of all the landlords. This undertaking can be seen as the ultimate grand strategy game, combining elements of Civilization and The Sims. The challenge is to create a vibrant, dynamic system where communities thrive and collaborate, where we tackle societal problems collectively and disrupt systemic imbalance, bringing corporations and institutions down to their knees. Here's my blueprint on how to play, but feel free to do something different. Level 1. Forming roots. Start by building a local community. Aim to gather around 10 to 20 like-minded individuals who can be your tribe. This tribe will be your support network, sharing resources, skills, and experiences. Pick people carefully. You want individuals you can trust who work hard and contribute. Your tribe is going to cooperatively work on projects and goals together. Naming and branding your tribe, such as calling it the Noisy Tribe, helps establish a unique identity and purpose. These tribes will be the building blocks of a larger nomadic society. The society has no borders and is limitless in potential. Thus, this nomadic force is the Infinity Nomads. Your tribe will be somewhat like the suburban utopia we discussed. You will be putting your assets and resources into a shared pool. You will have each other's backs and be helping each other with shared projects and personal goals. Level 2. The Trunk. Once your tribe is established, connect with other tribes within the Infinity Nomads network, Discord, YouTube, TikTok, etc. Share ideas, values, and solutions for societal challenges, whether local or global. Imagine a network of thousands of tribes, each with its own unique culture and focus, like a cyberpunk EDM tribe known as the Electric Monkeys, a group of peaceful spiritual farmers, the Green Thumbs, or digital nomads who are passionate gamers at night, Night Wolves. Despite their differences, these tribes will unite around common values, collaborating on impactful projects and supporting each other. Level 3. The Canopy. Work with your tribe and others to tackle significant projects or ventures. These initiatives could address local needs or have broader implications. Here are some areas ripe for disruption. Banking industry. Traditional banking often traps individuals in cycles of debt and inefficiency. Platforms like Seller's Note, which facilitate peer-to-peer lending, can democratize finance by cutting out intermediaries and keeping profits within the community. This model empowers individuals to support each other directly. Food supply. In countries like Australia, the grocery market is dominated by a duopoly, Coles and Woolworths, leading to price gouging, with ever-increasing profits for them year after year, even during recession. A non-profit grocery chain with direct ties to suppliers could challenge this monopoly, offering fairer prices and more sustainable practices. Education. The current education system often imposes unnecessary certifications and demands years of experience for entry-level jobs, leading to inflated costs and barriers to employment. By rethinking education and job assessment, a shift from traditional schooling to a more practical, community-based education model, emphasizing hands-on experience and industry-relevant skills. Employment should have more of a focus on portfolio-based resumes, opposed to education. What projects people have worked on and the experience they gained from that should be more relevant. Resource sharing. Redefine ownership and resource use by emphasizing communal sharing. Implement concepts like a library of things through a shared app where tribe members can list and borrow items, such as tools, books, kitchen appliances, camping gear, and even vehicles shared among their tribe. This approach promotes efficiency and reduces waste. It maximizes the value gained from each item.
Hey, have you heard the children are fed up with this society? And rumor has it they are building their own, forming a new nation. They call themselves the Infinity Nomads, as they are not bound to a country's border. If I recall correctly, it's not the first nomadic nation that has left its mark on the world. Am I right, Genghis Khan?
Taking the symbol of infinity. Thus, the nation you will help build is the Infinity Nomads. as we are a force spread across the globe, bound by no borders or laws, a nomadic nation. Historically, one of the greatest military forces was nomadic, a union of tribes forming the Mongol Empire led by Genghis. To win this game, we will play by the established rules. As Einstein once said, you have to learn the rules of the game, and then you have to play better than anyone else. We will use this force to build community-focused alternatives and non-for-profits. We will break the control that large corporations and institutions have on us, liberating ourselves from this pseudo-enslavement. We will tackle multiple industries simultaneously, with you supporting and contributing to projects you feel strongly about. Our alternative systems and business will be backed by our entire community, having an instant market for any of our products or services. But most importantly, having thousands of individuals as a marketing force, spreading our community's content, inspiring one another, remixing each other's work.
Hey, these children are serious about this infinity movement. The internet is flooded with their content. They are producing non-stop art and music. It's like they are trying to go for a cultural victory in a game of civilization. Could this be the start of a second renaissance? A digital renaissance? Well, anyway, listen to one of their bangers.
Life's a game, we're ready to play. Breaking the chains, we're fighting our way. From the bottom we rise, we'll adapt and grow. Together as tribes, watch our power flow. No more monopoly, we're changing the score. Playing Catan, where we open the door. Building a nation free and bold. With the infinity nomads, our story unfolds. Infinity nomads, we're a force to behold. Tribes unite, watch our dreams unfold. With hearts intertwined, we're stronger together. Creating a world that's light as a feather. From baking to food, we're making a shift. Empowering each other, it's a powerful gift. No more barriers, we're tearing down walls. With collaboration, we'll answer the calls. Join the movement, let's disrupt the norm with innovation.
And how about this one?
We gather the tribes from every land, building a future, together we stand. No looking back now, old ways are gone, creating a world where we all belong. New nation, rise up hand in hand, we stand strong. Innovate, unite us in our hearts, we belong.
Just like the songs are saying, guys, we need to gather our tribes and unite all of us under one banner, one cause, the symbol of infinity, joined by hearts, souls, and one vision. That is how we can change society and flip the status quo. We are the infinity nomads.
Flowing as teams.